Okay, ladies and gentlemen, as another question, hopefully all of us have understood
Hello, welcome to all participants. Our webinar will start at 3 p.m. Malaysia time.
Ya itu nanti loh.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to all participants. Good afternoon. All the praise be to God, the Almighty, because with His blessing and permission, we can meet in this Visa Talk webinar in a healthy state. First, let me introduce myself. My name is Bintang Diparkan, a student from Civil Engineering University Technology Malaysia, who will be guiding you throughout this webinar. To begin, let's start this event with all basmalah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Before we get into the session, I would like to deliver some of the protocols in this webinar. First, every participant must turn off the microphone and activate the web camera during the event. Second, for participants who want to ask questions, they can submit their questions to the Slido website, which has been provided by the committee in the Zoom chat column by including your name. Later, we will attach the Slido link in the Q&A session. In the Slido, the questions with the most like will be read aloud first. So if any of the questions on the website makes you curious too, please give it back by liking the question so it will be prioritized. Third, participants are expected to be orderly and wear formal clothes. And the last one is the committee will take action if there are any participants who violate the protocols. Okay, all right. To all our fellow participants, we have an extraordinary speaker joining us today, Mr. Zinon Al-Rasid bin Shiful Bahari. Mr. Zin is the Assistant Manager of International Student Management Service from Emgs, Malaysia. Without further ado, I will invite Mr. Zin to deliver his topic regarding procedures for entering Malaysia nowadays and also the regulation of quarantine. With all due respect, we welcome Mr. Zinon Al-Rasid bin Shiful Bahari to present his slide.
Right. Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator, Mr. Bintang. Okay, Assalamualaikum and Salam Ramadan to all of you and to all esteemed students. I would like to say thank you to UTM for having this session for me. Okay, today actually I'm going to present about the student pass application process, especially for new and renewal application. So as you all know that in April, the government of Malaysia has announced that we already enter the endemic phase, whereby the procedure, the SOPs is much more relaxed rather than the previous SOP during the pandemic phase. Okay. Okay. All right, so I'm going to start my presentation with student pass application for new application. So normally, under normal circumstances, students who finish study and receive the academic result, they can apply the application to the university, to the which university that the student would like to pursue the study. So when the university receive the application from the student, university will verify, and if the student being accepted, student will receive the offer letter from the university. So there are two options to apply to EMGS. Number one is through EMGS system, which is number one is to.
Ini mas saya ngembang aja nih rambutnya, tetap kan? Iya.
Okay, jap, dia tak mute. Okay, there are two type of you can apply to EMDS. Number one, through website, through EMDS website, and then number two is through institution. So then the list of document as follow. As you can see under the box number one, there are the list of documents, which is number one is the academic result, passport pages, health declaration form, and then photo, together with the offer letter that been issued by the university, and then payment, and then last two documents, which is declaration of accommodation and declaration of commencements of online classes, if any lah. Okay, next, once EMDS receive all the document, EMDS will vet all the document and submit the application to the immigration department. If the application is completed, if the application submitted is completed, EMDS will support the application. If not completed, EMDS will require correction, which means the student or the institution must submit the additional document to EMDS. And if EMDS support the application, the issuance of EMDS approval letter can be downloaded from STARS or EMDS website. For the student, they can download it from EMDS website. So after that, we'll push the application to the immigration. So immigration will do the screening on the security screening. And if let's say the student is eligible to study, they will produce the issuance of e-visa approval letter. So the validity of e-visa approval letter is 6 months. So the student need to plan before come into to Malaysia. Okay. So we move on to step number 4. So once the student already obtained the eval that can be downloaded through EMDS website, so the for Indonesia, especially for Indonesian student, they have to get the SEV. They have to obtain the FCV and to enter Malaysia. So there are two categories that they can apply for SEV. Number one, they can go directly to the Malaysian mission at Indonesia, or they can apply through online e-visa website. Okay, so you can, if you look at the second stage under number 4 box, this is the like I said before, this is the steps before coming into Malaysia during the endemic phase. Previously, the student have to make a payment for quarantine, they have to do the RTK, but now it's much more relaxed compared to previous SOP. So the procedure for COVID during the endemic phase will be, number one, the student are required to undergo the RT-PCR COVID-19 test within 48 hours before traveling to Malaysia, and then they have to download the apps called My Sejahtera apps and complete all the required information prior to the arrival date. And then lastly, students are required to update their arrival information through EMDS website. This one is before the travel. Student need to go to the EMDS website. There is one button that consider pre-arrival information. The student have to fill in. So actually EMDS have a counter at Isaac KLIA and KLIA 2, KLIA 1 and KLIA 2. For those students arrive at KLIA 1, KLIA 2, our officer will assist the student on clearance, on the process of clearance at the immigration counter. Okay. This is the process number 4. This is the process of pre-arrival before student coming to Malaysia. They have to done all these things, and then if you look at number 5 box, which means student travel to Malaysia, which means student will arrive at Malaysia. So what student have to do is, number 1, student have to undergo the RTK AG professional within 24 hours, which means the student have to go to health facilities to do the RTK. If found that negative, the student can continue like normal. If let's say the result is positive, then the student have to quarantine for at least 7 days. Then only can proceed with next step, which is in number 6 box. Okay, for those students that already arrived in Malaysia, then do the RTK, then the RTK result is negative. This RTK must be done at the health facilities. So then they can, if negative, then the student can proceed to number 6 step, which means the student can complete post-arrival medical screening at EMGS or university registered clinic. So if let's say the student is passed the medical screening, then they can proceed to the immigration for the student pass endorsement. So the last part, once the student is fit to study, EMGS will produce the letter, EMGS supporting letter, then give it to the university, to the institution. So the institution can download the EMGS approval, EMGS supporting letter, and bring the passport to the immigration for the endorsement of student pass. And then after the endorsement of student pass, EMGS will courier the I-card to the institution. Okay, basically that is the whole process currently for the student pass application process. Do you have any question?
Sorry, sir. After this sharing of information session, we will there is a Q&A session for all the participants. So you can continue until the end of the slide.
All right. So okay. Next slide, I'm going to present about the renewal application. Okay, for renewal application, basically renewal is much more simple rather than new application. It is because that the student is already in Malaysia. Then first and foremost, the student for new application, they already obtained the VAL, the EVAL, right? So for renewal, it's just like the student has to continue the process to obtain another year of student pass. So actually, I'm going to go, if you look at into the slide, into this deck, only 6 steps involved. So compared to the new application, for renewal application, only institution can create the application, whereby for new application, the student can key in to make a new application. But for renewal, only institution can create a renewal application in STARS on behalf of the student and submit to EMGS. Okay, so EMGS allow the student or the institution to key in as early as 3 months before the pass expiry. So which means the student can apply as early as 3 months before the expiry pass. This is very important. It is because to avoid the student from getting overstay. Yeah, because if let's say the student is overstay is considered crime based on immigration Malaysia. So I think 3 months is sufficient enough for the student to send the application to the institution, and then the institution create the application to STAR system EMGS. And if let's say if there are any additional document that EMGS wanted the student to submit to EMGS, there's still a sufficient time for student to furnish all the required documents. So it is important for you, all of you, for next year to ensure that the process is smoothened. You can submit as early as 3 months. That is my advice to all the students. Okay. So once the EMGS receive the document, the application that created by the institution, the EMGS will vet all the document and ensure that the student have achieved the minimum academic and attendance requirement in order to renew the pass. So the requirement is set by the Immigration Malaysia. There are 2 requirements. Number one is attendance report. At least fulfill 80% of the attendance in the duration of given pass. So which means the student must hit at least 80%. And then number 2, on the academic report, must at least achieve 2.0 and above. Or if let's say the student postgrad, the student must pass or fulfill the requirement to progress by dean of study. This is very important. If let's say the student fail to comply the requirements, the chances of getting rejected by GIM is very high. So this is the most important thing. If you are studying in Malaysia, you must comply first the attendance report above 80%, and then number 2 is on the academic result, which means the student must achieve at least 2.0 and above. Okay, so then if let's say the student achieve these requirements, EMGS will support the application. So for the student in UTMJB, once EMGS support the application, EMGS will issue the e-support letter, EMGS support letter. Then this letter can be downloaded by the institution. So once the institution downloaded the ESL letter, they can bring together with the passport to the immigration department at Johor Bahru. Then they will do the endorsement of student pass. Once immigration endorse the student pass, after 5 days, EMGS will issue the I-cards of student. So we will courier the I-card to the institution, to the UTMJB. Okay, that's all for renewal application. Right.
Okay, thank you to Mr. Zin. And we can see Mr. Zin has informed us about the student pass new application and also renewal application. And after this sharing of information, we will move into Q&A session. For those who want to ask questions, you can submit your questions through the slide website, which has been provided by the committee in the Zoom chat column. Also by including your name. There's also a like feature on the slide website where the questions with the most like will be read aloud first. Okay, we have the first questions, Mr. Zin. The question is, could you please clarify, do we need travel authorization to go to Malaysia as a student? For Mr. Zin, the time is yours.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, starting from 1st April, the requirement of travel authorization is abolished by GIM, which means you can travel like before the pandemic, which means you already obtained the visa approval letter, then you can enter Malaysia. But then you have to take the SCV first for Indonesian student. Okay, so which means the travel authorization is no more use at the entry point.
Okay, thank you to Mr. Zin. And we will move to the next question. The question is, I will go for graduation on 22nd May, but my student visa has expired. And the question is, should I reopen it or just go to Malaysia as a tourist?
Okay, actually the definition of student pass, it only cover the duration study period only. So which means the cost, for example, is 4 years. They only can have the student pass until 4 years. It's not covered for the graduation. So my advice for the student, if let's say the student come for graduation, they may come as a social visit pass, because now currently the border is open. They can come as a social visit pass to enter the graduation.
Okay, thank you to Mr. Zin for the question, for the answer. And we'll move to the next question. I'll choose. Wait a second. Okay. The question is, if my student pass is expired and I have a new passport, do I need a new SEV? And if I need it, how do I get it?
Okay, may I know where is the student actually at the university, at Malaysia or at the home country?
I'm not sure where is the student, sir, but I think maybe.
Sure.
Oh, okay, at Malaysia.
Okay, the student pass is already expired, and then the student has obtained a new passport. Actually, I'm just sharing with you. the gym requirement, actually the student pass cannot be expired, which means they have to continue. If let's say the student pass is already expired, the student must obtain the special pass to ensure that the student is legal to stay legal in Malaysia. So once the student already obtain the special pass, then submit for renewal, like normal process.
Okay. Thank you to Mr. Zin for the answers. And we will move to the next question.
But I checked in the box, the ISC UTM said need a new SCV again. May I know when is the pass expired? I mean, like, can I have the date, the specific date? Actually, no issue. They can proceed with the special pass. So once obtain special pass and submit for renewal.
Okay, sir. I see a question in the Zoom chat from Mohammed Naki. So if visa expired and student is outside of Malaysia, he needs to apply for SEV. There is no travel authorization or other documents to get the SEV.
Okay, to answer Mr. Muhammad Magdi question is actually during the pandemic, during the endemic time, no need to obtain the travel authorization. So if you wanted to have, you can yeah, so if you wanted to have the SCV, you can contact the Malaysian office, Malaysian High Commission office, and bring a passport and previous student pass, and you can get the SCV from the Malaysian office before coming to Malaysia.
Okay. I think the answer is enough for Muhammad Mahdi. And there is next questions from Rido Akbar, sir. How do we obtain the special pass?
Okay, to obtain the special pass, you can contact or liaise with the institution. Then the institution can bring your application to the immigration for the issuance of special pass.
Okay. And we'll move to the next question. I will choose this. Okay. My eval will be due this early June. However, I don't seem to be required to go to UTM this time around. Can eval be extended? And how is the procedure? And is there any cost?
Come again, may I know when is the eval expired? The val issuance. The date of val issuance.
In January, in the early January this year.
January this year.
Yeah.
Okay, just to share with you, for your information, the eval that expired during the pandemic time, which means the issuance since September 2019 until 31st December 2021, that one is eligible to extension. And then for those students that eval issuance in this year on 1st January, that one cannot be extended.
Okay, my eval is still valid until June.
Okay. So my advice is you come to Malaysia before the expiry of EVA.
Oh, so my EVA cannot be extended?
Yeah, cannot be extended.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay, welcome.
Okay, sir. I think there is a question in the Zoom chat. Question is, I need to ask about my student visa. Can you deal it here? So I'm not sure about the questions.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Amna Imran. I'm the one who asked the question.
Okay, go on.
Okay, my question is this. I have applied for a student visa and on 12th of April, I got 100% processing. Me and my friend, we both applied together, and on 12th, we both got 100% processing. And on 14th, she received her passport, but I did not receive my passport. Thing is this, I have some few issues at back home. Very precisely, I'm a mother of two special daughters, and my daughters are dependent on me. So I just did present my case that I need the visa earliest. And Alhamdulillah, UTMI dealt it very smoothly. And now I just want to know if my visa student passport is here in UTMI. Can someone confirm it if I give you my details? Because I'm very much worried. My elder daughter, she's not feeling well and she needs me back home. And the earliest seat I have is on Monday. If I don't receive my passport and I do not go on Monday, then it will be extended quite later, and that will cause problem for me and my daughter as well, because I'm very upset because of my daughter. So can you assist me in that?
All right, Miss Amina. Okay. Actually, for this kind of issues, can you provide your details to Mr. Bintang, the committee, so I can check later on, because this is involved with technical. I have to check into the system so I can advise you accordingly.
Okay, and details, where do I have to put in the chat box?
Yeah, it depends on the moderator.
Okay, I will give my contact later on.
Yes, Bintak, let me know, should I read it out or just put it in the chat box, my details?
Okay, you can put it in the chat box. So later I will read it and send it to the Mr. Zin. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I hope you do understand my situation. I'm in a very bad situation. My two daughters,
Yes.
they're handicapped. They're special. And my elder is very sick.
Okay, we will help you urgently on these cases.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Because I'm very much sure that my passport must be in UTMI. If you confirm that it is received, then I can just go for my flight check. That's it. This is something I want. I'll just write my details. Thank you so much.
Right.
Okay, you can send to me in the private chat in Zoom. Okay. Okay, thank you to Mr. Zin, and for those who ask questions. So we have a lot of questions here. So there is a participants who was directly on the Zoom and also in the Slido. So I will choose the questions and I will read from the Slido, and also I will accept from the Zoom chat. And also the Zoom, if you want to ask questions, you can turn on your mic later. And I'll choose first. So the next questions I'll read from the Slido. The question is from Khairi Hanif. My passport is lost somehow, and how I transfer the visa, and how long the process, and how much fee, if applicable, should I pay?
Okay, may I know where is the student lost the passport, in Malaysia or at outside the country?
Malaysia, sir.
Okay, you already have the police report, right? Okay, so what you have to do is you have to liaise with UTMI to provide the to inform them about your passport loss, and then after that UTMI will liaise directly to immigration, and then after that immigration will ask to do the transfer endorsement. I think you only need to pay for the immigration fee. That's the process for passport loss. It depends. If you ask me, is it long? It depends on you already obtained the new passport, right? Okay. You have to obtain the new passport first, and then you have to inform the UTMI, and then Jim also will need sometimes to do the transfer endorsement. Normally, it takes about around 7 to 14 working days on immigration side. All right, welcome.
Sorry, I forgot to unmute my microphone. So I will move to the Zoom chat column for the questions. The questions from Khairi. How can I apply for SEV as I got new passport now and my student pass has expired since 2021 and I haven't renewed it since I'm still in Indonesia?
Okay, for this student, you just have to bring your both passport, the expired passport and the new passport to the High Commission of Malaysia at Indonesia.
Okay. I hope the answer is enough. Okay. So the next questions I will read from the Slido. The question is, my passport has been renewed. Do I need to register the visa renewal using the old or new passport? If using the new one, how does it affect in my Emgs account?
Come again, can you repeat the question?
Okay, my passport has been renewed. And now, do I need to register the visa renewal using the old or new passport? So maybe he confused about does he need to use the old or new passport? And if using the new one, how does it affect in his EMGS account?
Okay, okay, understood. All right. So for these cases, actually, the student obtain the new passport. They have to liaise, like I present before. For renewal application, student need to apply through the institution. So they have to bring the new passport to the institution, and then the new passport, the institution will key in on the new passport number. It doesn't affect anything. It's just like a normal process.
Okay. Okay. I will move to the next questions. Wait a second. From Muhammad Hamza. The question is, my student visa expired on 16 July 2020. What should I do now? Because he is outside Malaysia now, sir. Okay, we will wait for Mr. Zin.
Sorry, Mr. Bintang, what was the question again? Is it in the chat box or in the slide?
He asked to me in the private chat, sir.
Uh-huh.
So the question is, his student visa expired on 16 July 2020, and he asked what should he do now? And he is outside Malaysia.
I think the question is similar in the Zoom chat box from Mr. what? Khalid, Mr. Khalid Ahmad.
Sorry, actually, sorry. I just joined now. That's why I didn't see chat box. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Okay, hold on. I will answer in a
Okay, we will wait for Mr. Zen for a second.
Okay, actually today with me is my senior manager, Mr. Muhammad Farha. He is my boss. He's also joining this session with UTMI student. So to answer that question, actually, previously during the pandemic time, EMGS issued a travel authorization. If you remember, for those who student expired during the pandemic time, so which means they have the travel authorization. So currently, when we move to the endemic phase, there is no travel authorization. So for your information, the citizen of Indonesia can come into Malaysia as a social pass. The requirement to come to Malaysia, to enter to Malaysia, is no need to obtain the SCV actually. But then because currently the government of Malaysia just announced these facilities. We heard that there is an issue with the airlines, not the immigration at KLIA. It is the airlines and the Indonesia. They request for those students that already expired during 2020, 2021, they must obtain the SCV. That is the requirement from the airlines. So that's why I'm advised the student that if you already expired during the year of 2020 and 2021, you are advised to get the SCV first. If you ask me, the requirement for Indonesia to come as a social, no need to have the SCV, right? So it is good to have the SCV.
So I saw here this is not from Indonesia. This is Egyptian. So if so, it depends on your country. If your country needed SCV to come to Malaysia, your nationalities requires you to obtain the single entry visa before coming to Malaysia. Then you must apply the single entry visa. It's simple as that.
Excuse me, sir. Can I open the mic?
Yes, please.
Go on, Khalid.
So my question is, because I'm from Egypt, not Indonesia, how to apply for the SEV without the travel authorization or without a visa approval letter? I am existing student with an expired pass.
When your expired pass within the pandemic, February 2020 onwards. Last year.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, okay. We are yet to issue the bulletin because we are waiting for the we still waiting for the ministries to issue the bulletin. But as of now, since the removal of travel authorization requirement for those who are to come to Malaysia for tourists and also for the student pass with expired pass during pandemic starting February 2020 onwards. So for those who have a situation like you, so you can if you are fall into the category of required country to have a SCV to come to Malaysia, then you must get the SCV from the mission office. So you can use, as of now, you can use your previous pass and also maybe submitting document from your institution to confirm you are the active and existing student.
Sir, the Malaysian embassy in Cairo, in Egypt, was informed by this new regulation or not? Because I just called them yesterday. They said no, they don't publish any single entry visa without travel authorization or VAL. So this new years was informed.
Because this one is reflect on the immigration regulation. So I'm not sure which information you got, which officer that mentioned about this. But okay, we will talk again with our counterpart at Egypt to confirm on this.
Yes, please. Thank you, sir.
Okay, all right.
Okay, thank you to Khaled. And I think there is a questions. Okay. The question is from Khairi, I guess. The question is, sir, as you mentioned, the issue is on the airline. How about if I taxi transportation because I live in Batam and I just need to take ferry to come to Malaysia? Might I enter Malaysia without SEV?
Okay, no need actually. Actually, like I said before, for Indonesian to come to Malaysia as a social, no need SEV.
But this one is for the existing expired student pass. The category that we mentioned, we discussing about now, it's not for the new student. You remember that you must bear in mind that Indonesian student with a new student, you need the visa approval letter and you need to apply for single entry visa before came to Malaysia. So don't forget about this. Later you will be
confused.
I'm afraid you will be confused and we will be affecting your student pass endorsement process.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. So we're talking now about the specific situation on the expired student pass during the pandemic, which expired February 2020 onwards. So whoever expired, they possess the expired student pass before February 2020, and they need to reapply as a new student, meaning they have to apply a visa approval letter.
Okay, thank you. I think the answer is enough. And I see Naufal raise his hand. Maybe you can turn on your mic and ask the questions. For Naufal, the time is yours.
Okay, thank you. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon. I would like to ask regarding e-visa. So if I had applied using e-visa, do I need to go through the Malaysian mission in Jakarta, or just I could already have the SEV?
No need. If you apply for e-visa, then you go to the website, My Visa, Malaysia Visa, and then you can download. I think they will, because this My Visa, the website is handling 100% by the immigration department. You apply, and then there are center that managing a few countries. So if not mistaken, for Southeast Asian, the center is in Thailand. So okay, it doesn't matter where it is, but the bottom line is you apply for e-visa, then they will email you the visa. You doesn't need to
come to the mission office
physically. So you can either do both either physically go to the mission office, or you can apply for e-visa. But personally, I would like to advise all of you, because I know that in this forum, there's not only Indonesian here, there also other nationalities. So for those who requires single entry visa to come to Malaysia, I strongly advise for you to use the e-visa facilities because this is new facilities provided by Malaysian government, and then it will you can save money and cost without coming physically to the Malaysian office. So you can do it online in front of your PC. Okay.
Okay, so regarding application of SEV through e-visa, it's just the same as if we had gone through the mission?
Yes, the
Okay.
difference is that one you have to go to the mission office. Yeah. The other one is you have to do online only.
Okay, thank you. Terima kasih.
Okay, sama-sama.
Okay, thank you to Naufal. And I see Madam Ayu raised her hand. Do you have any questions, Madam Ayu?
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Can anyone hear me? Cik
Yes.
Farha, Cik Zain, apa khabar?
Hai, macam kenal lah.
Kawan lama. Terima kasih EMGS because joining program untuk UTM student, especially untuk International Student Society Indonesia. Saya join awal sebab saya nak mengambil kesempatan untuk menanyakan beberapa persoalan. Sorry, I talk in Malay pula. Okay, I joined a bit earlier because my session is after this. I have a few inquiries myself regarding the entry of international student. First thing first, I want to ask about Afghanistan nationality, because as we know that they're not having any facilitation of social visit. So how about for those Afghan students that already expire starting 1st February 2020? So how they can enter in Malaysia?
Okay, for Afghanistan is a special case. Puan Ayu, we will come back to you later because we have raised up this issue with immigration on how to handle, to manage Afghanistan students who have a expired pass and they are currently out in Afghanistan, and how to come to Malaysia because now we have no more the travel authorization imposed. So we have raised this issue to immigration last week, and we are in the process of confirming on the mechanism on how to manage this situation.
Okay, thank you. Second, last but not least, it's about the checkpoint, and Johor is actually having so many checkpoint, but like there's one question from Batam. So when they arrive using a ferry transportation, so the checkpoint we have recently about 2 or 3 cases where the student is not receiving it's a new student, same issues, they're not receiving special pass but be given social visit. But for those who suppose having social visit, be giving special pass. So is it immigration at the state knows about this no more TA, and what suppose the entry stamping given to the student?
Okay, for the removal of travel authorization, actually, I believe that the escalation between immigration is there because there's a letter from the directive from top management of immigration is being circulated. I'm not sure on the ground either the issuance of stamp and so on, but maybe this is isolated cases. Not sure if maybe this is isolated because we just enter the endemic phase. Maybe some officer they are want to get to this is new this is a new development on the process, but I think this one you mentioned about the student under category of expired pass, right? It's not the new student. For both.
Yeah, both means like
okay. So we're talking about new student with VAR. Suddenly they stamp the visit the social pass, right? Okay, that one. Even though they have the single entry visa, right? Okay, so this one need to be rectified. If anyone here have this issue during coming to Malaysia, then I think you must immediately report to institution so that the institution can do a rectification on the issue. Kena tengok check balik Puan.
Okay.
Puan Ayu.
All this while, what we do is we ask the student to amend that one and go back. If we coming from KLIA, wrong stamping, so we ask the student go to KLIA. Batam go to the checkpoint is Tulang Laut. So if we didn't do this correction, can EM just issue us the supporting letter? For
Okay,
student.
but because for new student, if they don't, for example, if they don't apply for single entry visa, we can't issue a supporting letter because that is the requirement. But I believe at KLIA, this issue, I think there's no more issue on KLIA because currently
this week, two students
from KLIA. New student or existing student?
New student masuk lah, but already senior student the second semester online kan, but just entering Malaysia, so they've been doing social visit. So we ask the student go back to KLIA and do the fixing the stamping amendment.
Okay, because some student when we have yes, we have issue with this before, but when we ask the immigration to investigate, sometimes the student they are not declare they are student, meaning they don't produce the VAR immigration clearance, so that's why they got the wrong stamp. But if they have everything, the VAR, the single entry visa, and they report to, I think, counter 56 or 55 for student, I believe this issue will not happen.
Because in KLIA there is a specific counter for student.
Yeah, and then we also
the chances to get the wrong pass is very limited actually.
Limited. And then we also have our
Counter.
officer. We now have expand our international student arrival center. Previously only at KLIA 1. Now we expand to KLIA 2. We have officer. They are working for 24 hours per day. So if you have any issues with your admission to Malaysia, you always welcome to get their help, assistance.
And again, Farha, can EM just issue the supporting letter if all the requirement is fulfilled, but only the stamping is wrong?
I can't confirm, but if because it's reflect the immigration at Johor, because the endorsement will be done at Johor. If Johor are okay with the visit stamp, provided the VAR is there, the single entry visa is there, only the stamp is wrong, okay, and immigration at Johor are okay with that, I believe we will assist, because I think we have issue on this a few times, or on the case-to-case basis, we will issue the student the supporting letter. But provided the single entry visa is there, the VAR is there, everything is there, and also the immigration, the state immigration who for UTM, of course UTM immigration in Johor Bahru, right? So if they are okay with that, then we can assist, because our letter is one thing, because that is a recommendation letter, but at the end of the day, the final say if immigration, if even we issue the support letter, if immigration said no, so we can't proceed. Yeah, but we will try our best to assist for students who have any issues with regard the admission, the stamp, and so on.
Okay, thank you so much, Farhan, Cik Zain.
Okay. Thank you, Pak Ayu. Selamat berbuka.
Okay, thank you to Madam Ayu for asking the questions. So because we have limited time here, so we'll choose one questions. I see Kari raise his hand. Maybe you can turn on your mic.
Yeah,
the questions. Okay.
So my question is still about entering Malaysia without CV. So is it also applicable for me with new passport?
Which category?
May I know which category? Is it new application or renewal application?
Existing student.
With expired pass lah.
Yeah, with expired pass.
The same goes to the
Previous.
previous answer, yeah.
Like I said before, if you wanted to apply, you can apply to the Malaysian office, or else you can come as a social. But currently, there is an issue with the airlines in Indonesia. They wanted to see the SCV. So it's better for you to obtain the SCV first before coming to Malaysia.
All right, thank you so much.
Welcome.
Okay, so I will close the Q&A sessions. Very sorry to all participants who have questions and we haven't answered it yet because we have a limited time here. And our discussion is so interesting that we forget how quickly time passes. Now, before we move into the UTM International session, would Mr. Zin or Mr. Farha like to convey a message or advice for our audience here today? For Mr. Zin, the time is yours.
Come again, Mr. Moderator. I missed what you talking.
Okay. Would Mr. Zin like to convey a message or advice for our audience here today?
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. I just wanted to say happy coming back to Malaysia, and for those who study wisely, smartly, and then ensure that you fulfill the requirement that's set by the Immigration Malaysia, which is for renewal, you must obtain at least CGPA 2.0 and above. That is the minimum lah. I know you are a good student. Normally you obtain flying colors result, and then as well, please maintain your attendance at least 80% to ensure that the visa processing is smooth after this. All right, that's all from me. Thank you very much for having me, UTM. And then selamat Hari Raya in advance. And inilah selamat berbuka juga pada hari ini. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you to Mr. Zin. So we will have the photo session. All right, before we move the UTM International session, let's take a picture together to capture this special moment. To our fellow participants, please activate your web camera and I will give the session to the operator team.
Okay, I will take this session to capture this special moment. For all participants, please activate your web camera. Start for the first slide. 1, 2, 3. And then the second slide. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I will give it back the session to the moderator. Thank you.
Okay, thank you to Putri. All right, such an enlightening topic for us who are confused about the procedures to come to Malaysia. And also, as we can see, there are a lot of questions. Thank you very much to Mr. Zin for taking the time to be our guest speaker from the Emgs Malaysia. And after the discussion about the procedure, maybe some of us have problems with their student pass and visa. For further information for student pass and visa, we are here with Madam Ayu binti Abdulaziz, as the Executive Officer, International Student and Scholar Service from UTM International. Without further ado, I will invite Madam Ayu to deliver her topic regarding student pass and visa. With all due respect, we welcome Madam Ayu Azrin binti Abdul Aziz.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A very good evening to everyone. Thank you so much for the committee moderator and everyone here. So it was my pleasure to have a session with you, and I do believe that so many of you guys having these questions, puzzle, and everything about regarding pass and visa. And earlier the session with the EMGS might gonna give you some information about the latest SOP for N3. Okay, enlighten you or can assist you guys. So my sharing for this afternoon is actually regarding the student pass and visa matters for international student, and especially the session for ISS Indonesia, and also we'll welcome other international student that's not nationality of Indonesia for the sharing today. Okay, my name is Ayu Azri binti Abdul Aziz, and I was working at UTM International, and my unit is International Student and Scholar Services, specifically managing for international student pass and visa for UTM International student. And yeah, most of the students call me Madam Ayu. So you can call me either Madam Azrin, but I think I will not get a little bit that because yeah, everyone call me Ayu. So next slide, please. Okay, first thing first, I would like to welcome all new students. Congratulations and welcome for all new and existing students, or for me, I know you as a new student. If you haven't come to Malaysia at all, and we know that this past 2 years and 2.5 years, you guys having an online session, online training, online teaching and learning in the home country. But now is the time that hopefully we can see each other soon, because the border is already open for everyone. All the checkpoint is now ready to receiving any foreign traveler. So the session for the academic session 2021-2022, and now we are in the current semester, that is semester 2, session 2021-2022. So I'm sharing a bit photos here. When you come, you are going to see there's some greenery of UTM Johor Bahru campus. Okay, next. Okay, so first topic that we had today is introduction to student pass and visa. Next. Okay, I think I have a responsibility to share a bit what is the role of everyone. So as you guys know, any approval is coming from the Malaysian Immigration, or we know it as JIM, Jabatan Immigration Malaysia. And it's under Regulation 13, Immigration Regulation 1963. So they have like 3 major roles for the student pass and visa, where the implementation of policy, and then the application processing, and of course the issuance of the student passes. It was in the form of sticker, and differs from any country. Maybe if you go to Europe or US, it was in a card or something, but in Malaysia, the student passes was in the form of sticker and will be affixed into your passport. Okay, next. Okay, so role of EMGS, you have met Mr. Farhan and Mr. Zain earlier. So EMGS is actually one-stop center for all student pass application. It's only student, and of course, as a UG undergraduate student, you don't have any dependent application. So for Peninsular Malaysia, all institutions, either you are coming from public universities or private universities, EMGS is one-stop center for all the application. Either is a VAL application, we know is pre-arrival procedure, or your renewal is post-arrival. And then we have also the agencies like immigration again, but for the H quarters, there is for VAL is Cyberjaya, and for the sticker endorsement, printing out the sticker for Johor Bahru campuses, it was State Immigration of Johor, or we call the Jim Johor, Jim State. We have UTM KL who under EMGS, so they're going to go to the EMGS. Immigration is under EMGS. In the building, there's a 1 floor for immigration at the EMGS building. That's for the Klang Valley institution. Okay, next. Okay, so this is where UTM International or UTM and other institutions, the role of us is like we are assisting the international student regarding their pass and visa together, including the dependent. So as of today, the pass and visa is actually being given approval by Malaysian Immigration for public universities, private universities and colleges and language center. These three institutions is actually receiving international student as their student and offering you guys every semester. Okay, next. All right, this is where the fun are. You know I think we need to explain to you the terminology, like what is actually VAL, what is SEV and MEV. Okay, so before you entering in, some of you guys in the category of I know there's a new student that you want to coming in. You are in the category of pre-arrival, okay, in the stage of pre-arrival. So visa approval letter is the approval given by immigration for you to enter Malaysia, and after that, of course, you have to get the SEV. And all right, we have an extra audience today. So the SEV, and for existing student, like Kiam just mentioned, if you pass expires starting from 1st February 2020, you doesn't need to apply for a new VAL and no more TA anymore, travel authorization. But like as Kiam just mentioned, it's better for you to take the single entry visa from any nearest Malaysian embassy. I think in Indonesia we have a lot, maybe in Jakarta have, and some other places. All right, also single entry is actually like the approval for you to enter is one time, like one time in and one time out. It's like in and out one time only. So if you are using the social visit, so this is where you are entering, and after the validity is expires, you have to exit before the expiry of the validity. So like a student coming with the VAL, they're gonna get the special pass is 30 days given. And now for Indonesian nationality, if you're coming with social visit with the SEV or without the SEV, you will gonna be given the social visit for 30 days. Okay, and the multiple entry visa is where when you bring the sticker endorsement endorsed to you, and then this multiple entry visa will going to be given to you complimentary when your pass is being endorsed. Okay, multiple mean of course the word multiple, so you can in and out in Malaysia and outside exiting Malaysia in any time that you want. So like Indonesia is very near, right? The nearest maybe in Batam or so you can entering in the morning and exiting in the evening. Nobody will gonna question you, especially immigration. So that's the meaning of MEV. When your pass is still valid and you have this MEV, you can enter and exit Malaysia as you wish. Okay, that's why you have to follow the renewal time for your MEV always valid. Okay, next. Okay, the procedure. Okay, I think you guys are, I've been highlighted about pre-arrival and post-arrival. This is what actually that I mean. So that's the stages for international student coming to Malaysia. Pre-arrival, there is a VAL, and of course, first you apply for offer letter based on your academic qualification, and then you apply for the VAL. And now we have the e-daftar, that is the online portal for your registration to be UTM student without coming in. And then you have a post-arrival where you're entering Malaysia and finish up your sticker endorsement. Need to fix your sticker into your passport for the duration of the VAL being approved. And maybe for those who having the VAL approval for 12 months or 1 year, you have to renew the next year. Okay, all right, next. Okay, arrival of international student, I think you just covered much about that earlier. So next. Okay, movement procedure. This is by the Ministry of Higher Education. So like Ian just mentioned, they're not coming up yet with their own bulletin because they're waiting for a finalized meeting, something like that. And actually, we as an institution also, we have a difficulties to assist you. We have a problem to share with you a very, right information based on official announcement or any official black and white by EMGS. Okay. All right. So, but we're still waiting. This is the latest from KPT. It was on February 2022. Okay. I think EMGS will going to issue the bulletin as soon as possible later. But as of now, you get a front information now with EMGS where for existing student who pass expires at home country, no need to apply for NUVAL and no need to apply for TA anymore. So you just come with your social visit based on the nationality. Those who require SCV kindly get the SCV for your like some precaution lah. Even like Indonesia, we advise you to get the SCV from the nearest embassy to avoid any circumstances or to avoid any issues when you are entering Malaysia. Okay, next. Okay, this is a bit latest. It was starting 1st of April 2022. This is like a sort of a protocol on USCP for any international traveler. So we are advising you guys to download the MySejahtera apps, okay, application of MySejahtera before you entering Malaysia and update your status of vaccination that you receive from your country. And also, I think there's a button to upload your vaccination certificate, something like that. But the most important is, this is where when you upload your record or any data about your vaccination from your country, so you there's no more quarantine anymore. Only those who not having a fully dose, like 2 dose, and also for those who not having any vaccination at all, okay? But those having a full like 2 dose and also a booster, so they just arrive at the airport and there's no quarantine at the home or any quarantine center starting 1st of April. Okay, next. Yeah, this is what I mean about the classification of vaccinated, not vaccinated. Okay, it was in Malay. I cannot find the English version, but for Indonesian, I think you can refer to this. Should be okay. Okay, next. Okay, I just want to touch a bit about this for the student who not yet get the eval application approval. So if you have this, still have this correction of alliteration, either it's online classes or declaration of accommodation. So kindly fill the Google form and let us close the correction, okay, for your eval application to be resumed. Okay, next. Okay, we go to renewal of student passes. So this is basically especially dedicated to students who the pass already expires either in the home country or is going to expire soon or already expires. Where some students, they're not going anywhere. They're in some Malaysia by late submission, having a classes, something like that. So okay, next, I'm going to explain more about renewal of student passes. Okay, so basically this is what we had for the student pass procedure renewal. So now, okay, those who are reside inside the campuses or off campuses near the campus, you can always walk into our counter, same as every day before. You can submit your document for your renewal of student passes, and we advise 3 months before the expiry to avoid any problem for renewing your student passes. And starting in March, I think it's the end of March, and now we coming to April. We already sort of in the trial period launching our system for document submission online. So it was been parked at your student portal. Okay, so you go to my find Campus Live, and then go to international apps. So upload all the documentation based on our checklist of renewal, and then the vetting, checking, we're going to do it online by us. And you're going to receive also the payment form online, and then you make a payment. So you upload the proof of payment, and your documentation will going to be processed by us, and we created your renewal application. So it means apart from you walking to a counter, coming to a counter, so now you can having an option to submit your application online via our system. Only those who having the pass expiry, mean the student pass already expires, your application will gonna be stagnant in certain stages, maybe like in 50% at the Emgs website, because we need you to enter, and we need to get your entry stamp as a valid pass for you. Okay, that's only different, those who are expires and not expires. Okay, then it's 90% as usual. When your submitting letter already issued, so you submit your passport to us, and passport collection, of course, after it's done. Okay, I have a note here, 2 notes. We're still allowing a representative, your friends, your maybe your colleague to do submission for you, like before, okay, or you can opt for online submission. And the M3 was discretion and immigration is bound to the new entry SOP, like those who expires on February 2020, you can just come in without travel authorization. You will gonna given facilitation of visit pass, but no, sorry, yeah, social visit. This social visit is actually differs for any country. The terms and condition, there's a only for required ACV country that have a Malaysian embassy can get a single entry visa at the embassy. Those who not required, they will gonna be given like visa arrival. For example, maybe the nationality like a European, they actually don't have to go to any Malaysian embassy. They just come in at the airport, they're gonna get the visa arrival, so something like that. So kindly check with EMGS. You can contact them directly asking your terms and condition for social visit. Like I just giving inquiries to EMGS just now about Afghanistan. Afghanistan is actually not allowed to visit Malaysia, okay, unfortunately. And they only can come in with VAL as a new student, or if their family want to come, have to get approval from any immigration office, like a VAL. It's like a VAL for student, but it's actually VAL for dependent. Okay, passport collection, right? Okay, next. Okay. The question and answer will be the end of the session. Okay, this is a checklist of the renewal application. You can find this in our website, www.utm.ny international. Right. And okay, it'll be about our kantor operation hours during Ramadan. Kali take note, yeah, because all the time, like every day, someone will gonna come after we close our office, or we close, office is not closing, but the counter is already closed. Counter closed a bit earlier from the office. So kindly check these operation hours. So Sunday to Wednesday, we're going to open 8 until 12:30. If you can see that we open a bit early, 8, usually going to be 8:30. And then in afternoon session, 1:30 until 3:30, because we don't have a lunch, only half an hour for prayer. So we're going to start early also in afternoon session, 1:30, and we're going to end the session at 3:30. Okay, and Thursday, only one session in the morning, 8 until 1 p.m. Weekend and public holiday, of course, we close. Okay, next. All right. Yes, alert. Okay, same. I think if you remember, Mrs. Zain already mentioned, already give you a last word, like please, taking care of your attendance, your academic result. Okay, this is a thing, all right? Three major things. Either your UG or PG is going to be the same. First, you have to have the attendance report 80% and above, especially for UG student, undergraduate student. You have the classes, and of course you have to attend the class, and your attendance have to be 80% and above to eligible you to apply for the renewal of your student passes. And for PG student, like a third course, they also have the classes, so the attendance also required 80% and above. And second, your academic result below. Okay, not below. Okay, this one is not below. It means like you can't not performing. You cannot not studying. That's what it means. So whatever it is, for you to get the renewal, for you to stay for another year, for the next semester or 2 semester, another year, the maximum of the renewal is 12 months, you have to get the CGPA 2.0. So we have 2 cases previously. The pointer is very low, and one of the students is already going back. We already tried our best. We already appeal like 2 times or 3 times appeal, but it's not successful. And unfortunately, the student is going back. And luckily, we have still online, yeah, right? Online teaching and learning until the final semester, final exam. The final exam is going to be face-to-face, inshallah. It's already issued by the academic office. So this is where you guys have to perform, either UG or PG. PG also, like research also, they have also a pointer, and PG much more, they have a progress report. So they have to produce a progress report with a good standing and for the renewal application. And third one is actually not exceeding the program duration, is actually the maximum. Okay, but for UG student, you guys is very, very good. I think everyone is very, very clever. and you will gonna finishing during the minimum or the maximum time. Okay, it's seldom that we receiving in renewal application for UG that is having extension of the semester for so many semester lah. But for PG student, your brothers and sisters, yes, they will gonna have now they have 16 semester, right? We also have cases someone having 20 semester. Okay, so if you exceed the maximum duration of your studies, yeah, so many documentation need to be produced for the renewal explanation, so on and so forth. But as a UG, very straight away, if you following your classes, you submit your assignment and everything, you should be okay. Okay, reminder. Submission. You know, it's like a mantra for our unit and for you guys actually. Submission 3 months before the past expiry, 3 months before, 90 days before, 3 months before, 90 days before. You have to be aware. Maybe you put some reminders in your phone, or alert or something, papers in your wall, because this processing time or period is actually timeline really needed by us, okay, and to avoid any issues of overstay. Overstay is an offender, you know, if you're doing a crime, like you're a criminal, but if you offend Malaysian immigration rule, you're being called offender. And having a sufficient passport validity. This is also crucial and also important for you guys to be aware of your passport validity in order for you to get the maximum of renewal. As of today, only 12 months or 1 year maximum of renewal. We also have extension sort less than 12 months, where we have like 6 months for the final semester student, or for this is usually for the PG student, they're having a correction only like 1 or 2 months, so they're renewing for 3 months. So now we have the minimum for 3, 6, and 12. Okay, whatever it is, whenever you are having any issues about passport validity, you can always having a consultation with our counter staff, and they will gonna assist you, and they will gonna try to find you the extension slot that sufficient for the passport validity. And we have cases before, but we contact Emgs first lah. Like, okay, the passport is less than 1 year, so what is actually the extension slot can be given in your submitting letter. So Emgs will say, okay, 7 months, 8 months, yeah, certain cases, okay, it's case by case. All right, next. Okay, so renewal of student passes is finishing just done. Okay, you can ask the question after when we have a question and answer later. So now I move to transfer of pass. Okay, next. Okay, transfer of pass procedure was a bit short from the renewal of student passes. It's actually manual submission, okay, and you have to submit document together with the passport in our counter, make a payment and everything, following the requirement of document, and then we do the processing. And when it's done, we receiving it back from immigration, so we will gonna notify you for the collection. Okay, so I have a note also here. So 2 things. First, okay, some student having a thought, okay, I want to do a transfer, like a student having a new passport, old passport is lost, or the old passport is if it's not lost, it's like rosak lah, what do you call, I can find a word for that. Oh, okay, maybe go to the washing machine, stuff like that, you know. Okay, so it's ruined. Okay, it's ruined. So it's only a student passes having a validity 3 months and above can do the transfer, because if it's below than 3 months, it's actually the time when you have to submit your renewal. Okay, so usually we don't do a transfer and then renewal. No, we straight away do the renewal and using the new passport number as a reference. Okay, if it's lost, if passport is lost, there's no transfer lah, because we're going to do the renewal straight away, and the new student passes are going to be fixed. Same goes if the passport is ruined. If the student pass validity less than 3 months, there's no transfer. It's not involving any transfer application. It's straight away going to go for the renewal pass application. And okay, it's not eligible for new passport issuance due to sharing of old passport. This is specifically I put in the there is dependent. Okay. For certain country, for example, Libyan country, they have this kind of sharing. Okay, like the mother is the dependent, so the mother share with two of the kids. So the kids is actually using the mother passport. And now it's actually starting the January this year, immigration is not receiving anymore. And last week they really gave us a cut down of this sharing. They said they will no longer processing any sharing. They want the individual passport for each of the person, you know. So when the passport being issued like separate, okay, when the passport being separate, so the mother we're still going to use the old passport, so the two kids going to have a new passport. Okay, this new passport will not going to do any transfer. Okay, some students saying, why I have a new passport separate already, so I want the balance. No, it's not like that. Okay, not eligible for any transfer if the mother if the kid sharing with the mother, because it's actually the holder of the passport is the mother, so cannot do any diversion or cannot do any like a portion. Okay, so this new kid is having a new passport, it's going to be new application. Okay, next. I think it's this issue is not really related to you lah, because you doesn't have any dependent, but just for general knowledge. Okay, the checklist you can find at our website. Same. Okay, next. Okay, so transfer of pass done. Now we go for cancellation of pass. Okay. Same like transfer of pass. Okay, next, cancellation of pass also the procedure is very straight away. So you submit the passport together with document following the checklist required, make a payment and you submit. When it's done, we will gonna contact you, email to you for the passport collection. Okay, I note who is eligible or which kind of category you can do cancellation of the cancellation of the student passes. Okay, graduated, of course, when you're finishing. Withdraw, when you stop your studying, you doesn't want to study anymore, so you withdraw yourself. And then terminated, this is for unperformed student, you know, having some issues about the academic or something like that, and then being terminated, unfortunately, fail and dismissed. Deferred, okay, deferment, okay, deferment. Deferment, okay, before pandemic, before 2020, any deferment application actually have to do a cancellation of the pass and going back to their home country. After 6 months, that semester is signed, they have to apply. Before that, have to apply for new one and coming back again. It's just we are given some kind of exclusion. I mean, it's like some kind of consideration for deferment. It's not just, I think all the institution in Malaysia, when you are deferring during the pandemic, starting 2020, 2021, 2022, now this semester, and if next semester face-to-face, this term and condition will going to start effective back again. If you want to defer, you have to cancel. But as of this semester, any deferment student who submit for deferment, there's no cancellation of student passes, and in fact, you still can renew your student passes like anyone else. And then who are required for cancellation, variation, and progression application. Okay, variation, actually you are changing your, maybe changing your supervisor, changing your program at the same level. Progression, like you are progressing from one level to another. Okay, refund of personal bond fees, yes. If you're not doing any cancellation, you have to wait for your student passes expires, and then you can be refunded the personal bond fees, and our office we're going to do a verification. And third is closure of student pass file under UTM, and also the dependent pass. Actually, when you're submitting for student passes, you have to submit for your dependent too. But most of the time, this is I'm talking about your PG student, your brothers and sisters. They're not submitting for dependent, you're just submitting for themselves, because of course cancellation, you have to pay 50 ringgit for us. Like if you have a dependent, 1 wife and 5 children, so just time lah. But supposed to be, we are enforcing the cancellation. But I'm not so sure, maybe we are can't hurt it, even though it's actually something that we should do, but we didn't do. So if immigration checking us back with auditing or something, we will gonna be in big problem about dependent passes. It's not cancelling. Okay, next. It is online. Okay, I'm gonna be dead. Okay, same the checklist for the cancellation of the pass. You can get also in our website. We're gonna update it from time to time, inshallah. Counter operation during Ramadan. Okay, next. Okay, we done for the application. Only that application is being required for me to share, okay, by your committee. If other application you want to know, maybe you can inquire with us later. Are we going to share our email address, and also you can straight away come to our counter. No, don't have any problem at all. We still open our counter even for the renewal. The online submission of document is still ongoing, but our counter also open. Okay, the do and don'ts. Okay, the do and don'ts. What you can do with your passes and what you should not do. Okay, next. All right. Do. I think I already explained earlier. So renew your passes 90 days before or 3 months before. That's what you should do. And your attendance record is 80% and above. Like, just attend your classes lah. You know, why you didn't attend your classes, something like that. Just go to the class. And then register the courses, of course, because your status as an active student also becoming one of the requirement and criteria for the renewal of passes. So students who not registered, they cannot produce the registration slip that was in the immigration checklist. That having a relation of that. It's not, we don't understand, like having a financial issues, doesn't have a scholarship, you know, war, something like that. Yeah, we do acknowledge, we do understand, you know, if I'm a billionaire or rich people are just gonna give away my money for you to register. But unfortunately, I just like, maybe now I go to the level of B40 in Malaysia. The pandemic. Okay, minimum. Okay, the minimum CGPA 2.0 is actually the minimum. So currently, study hard or do whatever that you can to get your pointer 2.0 and above. Okay, and of course you have to abide and follow the rules and regulation of UTM, of course, and immigration, national government, something like that. A bit related to the law or regulation or any enforcement by Malaysian immigration. Before this, our government Malaysia having the quarantine, right? So now there's no quarantine, and so you can just come in without pay of anything, and just, you know, be a good citizen like I am, even though you are not local Malaysian. Okay, next. Okay, the don'ts. Okay, the don't change program. Usually you cannot change program if you're international. Okay, why? Because it's gonna affect your record or the first approval given by immigration. Your VAL is actually following your offer letter, you know. So you have to make up your mind. So don't like change your mind. Okay, yeah, I don't like you know, program A. I feel like I want program B. It's not as easy with immigration. They, as for me, this is my personal, you know, even it's online, I'm gonna be dead after they say if someone is. They once they given to you the approval, it seems like you don't play with them. Like you don't play with me. I already give you approval, so why you want to hook in and hook off, something like that. So you don't play lah something. And for UG, if you want to change, really want to change, maybe that reason to change is really you know, you can't avoid it, like okay, for example, like hazardous, you know, like doing a chemical, something is hazard, and then you have some kind of health issues. Okay, the step is you have to withdraw and then cancel the student passes, going back, and yes, unfortunately you have to apply a new offer letter, a new program, and then coming back again with a new VAL under the new program. Okay, but for PG it's different story. As far as I can see, if the mode is research, it's easy for you to change, you know. But I'm talking now is UG. You're not allowed to change your courses because you first you cannot do the renewal because your result, if you also change, you know, your result and your registration will going to be different from immigration record, the approval of the VAL. Maybe inside the academic system was the updated one. So it's going to be issue of renewal. We're not going to get entitlement of the renewal. And furthermore, if you don't renew, how can you stay? If after this there's a face-to-face classes, so how can you stay in Malaysia? Right? So no change of program. Okay, make up your mind. Maybe you can share with your sisters or brothers when you want to come here, or new student. Really firm what's the program that you wanted, because Malaysian immigration is not easy. It's not easy. Like you want to change from A to B, it's not easy. Okay, so don't work during semester. Okay, you actually can work. Okay, but not during the semester active. You can work during a semester break. Right, semester break. That's about how many field, how many job scope that only available for you. As far as I can remember, you can be a waiter, you can be a petrol pump assistant, something like that, cashier, or you working inside the UTM, inside the campuses, okay? For 20 hours per week during the semester break only. Okay, not during your study period, the semester active, you have a classes and everything. So it was a offense if you obtain a student passes and then you work at the same time, right? So, okay, the third one, don't overstaying is an offense in national immigration rules. So now, currently, we are having or managing these overstay cases, and we have a student already go to immigration this past 2 weeks for the appointment of overstay. And then we expected immigration will gonna issue a compound of fine or penalty starring 1,000, and we didn't know how many thousand based on the days of the overstaying. This is because starting 2020 until 2021 and until the December 2021, it's like 2 years. Okay, immigration is given a very, for me, I think I cannot find anywhere lah. Maybe some other country immigration, but for me, Malaysian immigration during these 2 years, starting 2020 to 2021, is very, very kind-hearted. You know, like they are very kind. They don't care that you overstay. Whoever international who overstay here, you can stay happily ever after for 2 years. They're giving you a chance. If you want to going out, this is the time. For 2 years, you can going out or exiting without any fine, without any special pass issuance, no 100 ringgit until 31st of December 2021. Okay, starting we had our first lockdown on March 2020. If you overstay, you can freely, easily just go to any airport and exit on board the flight. They will not going to check anything. Okay, but we still have a certain cases where even after these 2 years time, we have a student who graduated is not exiting themselves. So maybe towards immigration, I already give you a chance for 2 years, 24 months, and then you are not going back. So yeah, you know, sometimes have difficulties, maybe airport is not open, pandemic, you know, COVID lah. But towards immigration, for them, they not looking into that sense lah, you know. For them, already give you a chance for 2 years, you're not exiting. So now the time I find you, okay. And don't bring family, okay. This is actually for PG students, so you can skip this one. Family is actually dependent lah. You're not having a facilitation of dependent passes. Okay. The last one is also important. Don't buy a flight ticket. Who put this word now? Okay, I actually copy paste from previous slide. Okay. It's actually we are strongly advised. Sorry, we are requesting you not to making any plan for traveling before your student passes is done. Before you're receiving an email for passport collection. Because we don't want to have responsible and liable for your flight ticket if it's burned. So many cases, you know, they are submitting to us the document, and then actually secretly they're having this return flight, or they're having this flight to go back. And after submit the passport 90%, 1 day after that, coming back again to the counter, say, okay, I have this flight ticket. Like, seriously. So how can we submit to immigration? Yesterday you submit your passport. Even the passport is not sending yet to immigration for us. When you submit your passport, we need 2 or 3 days working days for us. You know, we need to issue a letter. We have to check your status, and we have to arrange who document and which passport have to be signed. So don't please understand that we have to arrange you based on your submission and based your expiry, actually, you know, based on the batch of the expiry. So if you have a flight ticket, if you are lucky and seeing me, my word is just like something to ponder. We will gonna try with immigration, you know, to expedite something. But if it's not like what you wish for or you expected, so it's unfair lah for you to put the flight money from under my shoulder, you know, something like that. So I think whatever it is, to play safe. Don't making travel arrangement before you hold your passport. That's something very important. Okay, next. Okay, student pass matters 101. Okay, just like something that I need you guys to really understand this consequences, like cause and effect. If you didn't do this, if you do this, what's gonna happen? Okay, so next. Okay, this is our actually like processing duration. If you can see, it's actually weeks, and even months. So that's why you have to well aware about this processing time. Okay, student passes, new student pass endorsement is actually when you are entering with the VAL. So as a new student, you just first time coming to Malaysia. So we will gonna do the endorsement of the student passes maximum 4 weeks time. Because 4 weeks is actually 30 days given at the airport, right? So just imagine now, before this we have a quarantine, and we have also experienced a quarantine for 2 weeks, 14 days before by the national agency, government lah. Okay, so just imagine airport. Immigration at the airport given us 4 weeks, okay, 4 weeks, and then 2 weeks go to quarantine and just left us 2 weeks time. So when the student submit to us, for sure we need another 2 weeks, and the student will gonna overstay for sure. It's not 100% overstay cases at that moment, and it's very difficult for us. So we have to apply, we have to create another application of special pass and another documentation. Okay, but what we can do was the government. So just embrace. Okay, 4 weeks time for the new student pass endorsement. So renewal of student passes also, we want you to submit your document 3 months before, and then the sticker endorsement another 4 weeks. Like it's actually the 4 weeks for sticker endorsement was included in the 3 months. Okay. Okay, transfer of student passes maximum in 4 weeks. Some student can get it earlier if the immigration processing it faster, like 2 weeks already get the being transferred the balance of the sticker. Cancellation or shorten of the passes also maximum is 4 weeks. But currently what we can see, cancellation and shorten transfer is a bit fast, like 2 weeks we already receive for immigration, and then we deliver the passport back to you. Okay, new dependent and renew dependent. Okay. It's 2 months for dependent, but renewal maybe a bit less. Okay, it's not like 8 weeks, it's like 4 to 6 weeks. But for new dependent, due to have to open a file, so many processing, you know, I didn't know, maybe like creating a record of data inside the system, you know, go to meeting, approval, blah, blah, blah. So it might take about 2 months. And now we have also a new dependent about going to 3 months also, you know, like it's very lengthy lah. It's very tiring process, lengthy waiting time, something like that. Okay, so next. Reminder. Okay, so yes, we have to remind ourselves, especially you guys and ourselves also, like me. I always tell a student, okay, any approval is by immigration, because some student is thinking that we are actually doing the decision, you know. And I always tell a student, I'm not an immigration officer. UTM is hiring me lah. I'm working with UTM. I'm not immigration, because I didn't wear their uniform. So we actually like intermediaries. And for simple understanding, I always use the word postman. You know, like a postman when you sending to us and we sign to them. But of course, we have to follow the requirement, you know, the checklist, we have to study the document, follow the specification, the requirement and everything. All right, the final decision is going to be under Immigration of Malaysia, of course, JIM, Jabatan Immigration Malaysia. And the second, student or dependent can be deported back to home country if the application is rejected by immigration. Yeah, we have cases also. Before that, the student have to going back. The dependent also going back. Yeah, cannot stay. You know, because we already done our best by appeal and everything, but still, if immigration, the discretion means like it's only an immigration. It's only 2 situations. Either they will gonna give an approval for any application, or they reject. And yes, we cannot interfere. And I always use the word, we don't have any influence. Okay. Some students begging us, even like haunted me like every day, morning, afternoon, even night also, you know, haunted. But I can't do anything. Something is, we can't do anything, something that out of our boundaries. out of our jurisdiction because we cannot interfere with immigration processing or discretion to giving you approval or not to approve. Okay, we don't have an influence. I always tell a student the best is you send an inquiries to EMGS like above because they work closely. We cannot inquire straight away to VAL section of immigration without through EMGS. That's the thing. But state immigration, yes, for stick endorsement, any issues about dependent, yeah, we can straight away go to their counter and talk with them. But the VAL, we cannot. We have to go to EMGS and EMGS go to Cyberjaya. Okay, next. Sorry, excuse me. Okay, overstay again. So you guys, yeah, until I'm coughing also very dry. Overstay is an offense in Malaysia. Immigration is where your status from active, from legal to becoming illegal and undocumented. Undocumented, maybe, okay lah, can consider lah because you don't have a valid pass to stay. So it's an offense under the Act, Section 15, Immigration Act 1959-63, and overstay of there's a compound, per day. Okay, every day they're gonna count, they're gonna calculate your overstay 30 ringgit per day, 30. Okay, following this Act 1959-63. So, but certain cases when we try to talk with them, like, okay, the student is overstaying for 2 months. 2 months, how many days? Like 60 days, right? 6 times 30, how much are you guys? Okay, so but most of the time we try to get a minimum, like, try to talk, try to pitch, like some student having issues, so many issues of the students. So we try to give a justification, and most of the time they will, okay lah, we give you just 1,000. We don't count the 30 days, something like that. Another, if you overstay, you can be detained. Okay, you can be detained into their cell. We don't call it jail. I didn't know, is it a jail or a cell? I just call it cell. Detention places lah. Or imprisonment. Okay, imprisonment. We also having a case where, but it's involving a bit criminal, criminal issue with the police. And then at the same time, the student pass order expires, something like that. So the nearest detention around UTM is actually in Pekan, and that's just nearby my house. If you have a chance to go to Pontian, from the UTM, Skudai, if you want to use the road to Pontian, you can find one immigration detention. It's very big, like 10 minutes from my house. That's where they put all this illegal person, foreign person there. Okay, unfortunately, it's so sad. So blacklisted, yeah, of course. And now what they do, then they compound you, they fund you, you pay to them, and then they blacklisted you. So also possible to you, possible happen to you guys, because this blacklisted thing is actually we didn't know. Like when we have a cases like when we refer to immigration, when you overstay, it's not a referring. When you overstay, it's actually you are surrendering yourself. So this is the term they use. Okay, now UTM surrender, your student coming here, they were going to always say like that and talk like that. But I always tell the student, we refer the cases, because the word surrender, student might gonna feel scared, like, I'm surrendering what I'm doing. But you always say, like it's offense. Okay, deport to home country is, of course, if you have no reason to stay, like I mentioned earlier, student already graduated in 2020, and then COVID and everything, lockdown in Malaysia, cannot go back. Also in home country, the airport is not open, so overstay for 2 years. And of course, when they are processing the overstay cases, they were going to deport you. Of course, you doesn't have any reason to stay, so they were going to deport you. They're going to order you to making arrangement to leave the country. It means check out memo. They call it checking out for the country. So they're going to require or order you to going home lah. Okay, next. Okay, so student pass and visa, any inquiries, you can email to our one-stop, that is visa. Very simple. You can easily remember visa UTM.my or ICJB at UTM.my. So basically, ICJB is for your senior student or all-timers. We still use this when we have international student center. We still use this for our communication with EMGS. Okay, I think done for the student pass and visa. I just have, okay, yeah, student health insurance. A little bit about the insurance, okay? Actually, I'm not managing for insurance for international student. We have another unit that called student experience, but it's okay. I just want to share with you a general information that you can Google later, or you can go to Emgs website later. Okay, so next. Okay, why insurance is important for you? Yes, of course, important for you guys because you are not local like me. I can always go to any hospital and they admitted me. But you guys have to be covered by insurance. Yeah, you can go to the government hospital, but they're still asking you to pay. So, okay, it's compulsory for every international student enter Malaysia and to have the medical insurance, okay? So it's very easy. Is actually when you are creating or when you apply a self-application of the VAL or your agent apply for you, it's actually covered together the processing fees by EMGS like 1,005, 1,006 or 2,000, 3,000 is actually covered together with the medical health insurance scheme, okay? And when you're going to be issued, it's actually when you enter Malaysia and then you're doing the post-arrival, you get a sticker inside your passport, the sticker being endorsed, then you've been covered. We have cases also where even EM just saying that even if you touch down also, if you walking down the aisle, walking down the stairs from the ALF from the kapal terbang pula, from the aircraft, from the aircraft, if you misstep also they can cover you. This is what EM just is saying, okay? But for us, we always tell a student, when you get a sticker and then you will cover it. Because when you go to the hospital, they want to see your student passes validity, when it's going to expire, when it's being issued to you, or something like that. Okay, so is this for international student, it's through educational institution or you yourself. When you apply, you can choose which whatever the insurance coverage that you can get at the VAL application, or like a renewal, okay, senior student, existing student renewal, we choose for you. And now we are using this Etika Family Takaful Berhad EFTB because this is the lowest. Okay, this is the lowest, about 400 for 12 months of that the coverage, okay? And now I'm just having three provider for the insurance or the insurance companies: Etika Family Takaful Berhad or EFTB, Great Eastern Takaful Berhad GETB, and the Pacific Insurance Berhad TPIB. So inside the system when we created, we only seeing EFTB, GETB, TPIB, but they're gonna given us the amount of the coverage, how many 100,000, how many thousand, something like that, and the months. So only three now, under EMGS. Okay, and these three insurance, medical health insurance is actually the coverage is based on the requirement by the MOHE, Ministry of Higher Education. So it's good for you because this three companies is covering specialists, so you can get a very good services of hospitalization lah. Apart from the, of course, general hospital, government hospital, the facilities is not as state of the art as the specialist lah. Okay. So this is for the little bit for the insurance. Okay, so you can go to the website or you can go to EMGS website. So you go to visaeducationmalaysia.gov.my, guideline insurance too, and all the package, the cover, the note, the policy note is everything was there. You can Google by yourself. You can read. Everything is there. All the related document, all the how to make a refund also, how to admit it also, everything is there. Okay, just go to the website of EMGS and you can get information on your own. Okay, I think okay, so next part is actually if you have any inquiries of the insurance, you can contact the student experience at UTM.my. So next slide. Okay, yes. So their email is studentexperience@utm.my. So this is the unit who managing about your health insurance. So I think this is the last, and we come to the question and answer session. Yep.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Madam Ayu for the insightful explanation. So now let's move on to the question and answer session. For those who want to ask questions, you can submit your questions through the Slido website, which has been provided by the committee in the Zoom chat column, also by including your name. There is also a like feature on the Slido website where the questions with the most like will be read aloud first. So I will read from the Slido website, the first questions. So the question is, I will be having an offline class on 8 May, but my visa is still on the process until now. Is there any way for me to get a prioritization to finish the visa? So what about you?
Okay. First, I want to know what kind of application that mentioned by the student. Is it a VAL application or renewal application?
Oh, visa. But my visa is still on the process. He said like that, madam.
I think it's a VAL application. Is it a visa approval letter application? Okay, just email to visa@utm.my regarding this question because we didn't know the correction or the stage of the application now. How many percent, and then what is the, if having a correction, what is actually the correction and the issue open for the application. So it's not, and if the remarks, okay, if the remarks of the, if the status of the application is mentioned, your application or your document already submitted to immigration, so it means you just have to wait for the approval. And again, we don't have any influence with immigration for the approval. We also didn't know how long they will gonna take for certain application to be approved. But you can email to Emgs and asking. But I think the cliche response by Emgs will gonna just give you a word like they don't have any stipulated time. But you can email to Emgs lah. Just I'm not so sure this question is actually how to give to this person a direct answer, because we need to see or to check the status of the application and the type of the application. Send an email to visa@utm.my.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Madam Ayu. So the next questions is, okay. I will let Khaled Ahmed to ask the questions. You can turn on your microphone and ask the questions directly.
Assalamu alaikum.
Salam.
I'm from Egypt, just mentioned before. I'm currently outside Malaysia. So my student pass is expired. I'm not sure when I come back how long it will be renewed for like my graduation. I'm in my 4th year. So I'm graduating in February next year. So my question is, when it's renewed, will it renewed until my graduation?
Okay. One of the requirements of the student pass checklist is actually the status verification letter. So if you're aware, inside your status verification letter, your school or your faculty, we're going to put expected to grad. So we're going to see or going to refer to the expected to grad when you are graduating. So in order for us to fund you the best extension slot. So if your status verification letter mentioned that your expected to grad is going to be February 2023, and then your passes when it expires, maybe last year on October, another thing that I need to highlight to you guys, if your pass expires at the home country last year, so when you submitting to us, it's not like the extension will gonna be start or count when you are submitting to us. No, it's gonna be count also when you are at the home country. Okay, for example, like Mr. Khalid, I just give a example. Okay, Mr. Khalid expiry was on October 2021. Okay, so he entered Malaysia on May 2022. So submit to us a renewal, because renewal maximum 12 months. We don't have more than 12. So when we creating to EMGS the renewal, so when it's done, this Mr. Khalid will gonna only get the balance from May, from the processing. Okay, processing is done in May, so gonna get the balance until October. So maybe May, June, July, August, September, October. So only like 7 months. This is where you guys should understand, because some student even slam our counter also, that's our counter. Why I don't get the 12 months starting I enter? No, it's not like that. it have to be, you know, like continuously of the date of the expiry. If your expiry in 2021, even though you're not here, they still counted that one. But the time the student pass being issued, only the balance you get. So like Mr. Khalid, first check with your school when you're expected to grad, and then when is the expiry of your student passes. So if your expiry last year, so when you come in here, you only get the balance. And we do have a cases, especially for Indonesian student. You guys is not coming either in 2021. Just early of this year, you guys coming. So some student having the expiry in 2020. So 2020 until 2021, 1 year already. And then you coming maybe in 2022 earlier. So like 1 year and a half. And then you enter. So this kind of student or application will gonna be charged twice. We're gonna be charged of the processing by EMGS, having an additional payment. This having additional like 200 something, something like that. It's not charging twice, but having, it's sort of 2 times the charge. Same lah, twice lah. Tapi not the same amount. It's having additional amount because they counted also the 1 year that you are not here. But you're not getting the student pass in 1 year. They don't issue any student pass backdated, you know, they don't issue. But they still counted. So you seems like process, you have to pay for the year that you're not here, and then you pay normal fees for the year of the current renewal lah, something like that. Okay.
Can I ask more? One question only. So when I'm graduating, what if I asked only extension to just receive my graduation certificate and endorse it, and then go back to my country? I think my graduation certificate is on June, will be issued in June.
Okay.
So am I allowed to do so?
Okay. If you know if you can recall back what I'm giving to you, what I'm saying earlier, like this minutes ago. Your status is crucial for the renewal. Okay. Once we checking inside the academic system that you are graduated, so there's no facilitation of renewal anymore, even though you're saying, I'm waiting for convocation. We have this current May convocation, right? So I'm waiting for convocation. I want to go to Ministry of Higher Education for certificate endorsement. I have to go to my embassy lah, you know, something like to manage my scholarship, something like that. So this kind of reason, apart from your status is active, there's no facilitation of renewal, unfortunately. I'm very, very sorry. So there's none.
So my only option is to apply for a new program for completion, like that.
New what?
New program. Finish bachelor degree, apply for a master for
progression.
exam.
Yes, progression. Yeah, known as a progression. Only the different progression is applied by us. It's not by you. And the terms and condition of progression that you cannot exit. This is a bit different lah. They were like a vice versa. It's contradict from the VAL new student. You cannot exit if the process is not done. You have to stay until you get your student passes fixed into your passport. This is progression. So it's a wise lah. It's a wise decision you do lah. You know, like you progress and then everything is done. Certification and everything is done. Most of our students during the pandemic, they do a progression application. Okay, all right.
Okay, thank you to Madam Ayu and Khaled. So I will read another questions from the Slido. Regarding the dons on your slide, so we cannot do a part-time work on the weekends during our semester?
No, only semester break. Only during semester break. Okay, also have a procedure for this, because you're foreigner, you know, like if you're really like Indonesian, your face is like a Malaysian lah. Maybe no one is going to notice that you're a foreigner. But if you're like coming from Middle East, something like that, and you're working at a cafe, people are gonna notice in asking, like they have this question. So you're not allowed to work during your active semester. It means during your classes lah. I mean for easy understanding, if it's not semester break, you cannot work. You cannot work. Okay. So if it's semester break, what you should do if you want to work, okay, with the certain field that allow. They are not all, not all job is allowed for you. For example, of course, you cannot working at a nightclub. Of course, it's not. Massage parlor, no, it's not. No, it cannot. That's an unhealthy, but even a normal position or normal working post also, not all type of work that you can be done, but you can check with our office what are the job scope. Okay, so how you want to apply? Okay, how you want to apply? First thing first, you get the offer from the company. For example, who's the what's your name, the moderator?
Bintang.
Oh, you are Bintang.
Yes, madam.
Okay, I the malam. Tak adalah. Bintang always text me. Okay, so Bintang want to start. I want to work. Okay, during the semester break. So he get an offer letter from one supermarket lah. Supermarket. To be like a sales assistant. Oh no. We take a simpler example. Okay, a cafe. So a cafe or restaurant. So becoming a waitress lah, okay? Waiter. Waitress is for female. Waiter. So you get a offer letter from this cafe, from the restaurant. So you visit our counter. And then we are issuing a letter. It's like a cover letter forwarding to Malaysian immigration in Johor because the sticker. And then together with the passport and certain document that we needed by the immigration. So immigration will gonna give in an approval. So the approval, how is the approval? It's not a sticker, okay? It's not a card, it's not a letter. It was a stamping, okay? A square stamp. It was a stamping inside the passport. So because it's very seldom students want to work during a semester break. So as far as I can remember, the stamping will gonna have a word like, okay, allow to working during a period, certain period. I mean a semester break period lah. Okay, so this is the process. If you not get the stamping, if someone reports you to immigration, so if you are being caught or you are being detained, we cannot do anything. But if you have this stamping, someone is, having a bad intention to you, report, complain, whatsoever. So we can always give a justification like, okay, this is false accusation lah. The student is actually following the procedure for the working during the part time. But during it's not the student part time during the semester break. But if it's not a semester break, you are doing an offense. Okay.
Okay. Thank you to Madam Ayu for the clear explanation. So we'll move to the next questions. The question is, I will be arriving in KLIA on 5th May. Does UTM provide their students to travel to JB, like using bus?
Okay. Currently, no, there's no facilitation anymore because, the transportation only when you need to be sent to when you are discharging for the quarantine center, but no quarantine center, no home quarantine. You are free to go, so you take a public transportation and then travel to your campus, UTM campus. No pickup. As far as I understood, even this semester, new student also, they come by themselves. There's no pickup by us, no transportation provided by us. But if this person want to inquire, can inquire with the student experience. The email that I just give now, student experience at utm.my. But as far as I understand, there's no services provided. But you can ask.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Ayu. So we move to the next questions. The question is, after we receive our passport, how many days do we need to reach Malaysia?
Receive your passport and reach Malaysia?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
maybe
quite...
for those who ask these questions, can clarify in the chat box.
Can you help me to understand your questions? Is it receiving a passport and you want to exit, you want to going out? That's the question.
I'm not sure about the questions, but how if we have done all the requirements, madam? We have go to kedutaan and have done our SEV and all of that. And how long do we need to reach Malaysia?
Okay. Okay, I think okay, for the VAL, for the new student that first time coming with the VAL approval, the single entry visa valid for 3 months. Okay, this is also I need to highlight. Most of the students confused. They are taught the single entry visa validity will gonna given when they are receiving Malaysia, they're gonna give 3 months. No. What the 3 month means by single entry is actually it's actually the validity of the single entry. You have to choose or to pick any date within the 3 months to fly to Malaysia. Okay, for example, Bintang is received today is 15, right? 15 April. So Bintang have 3 months until 15 June, 15 May. Okay, 15 May, 15 June, and 15 July. So within these 3 months, before 15 July, so Bintang have to find any date to travel to Malaysia. So when arrive at the airport, immigration will going to give a special pass 30 days. So not 3 months. These 3 months for you to choose, for you to find any ticket, any date that you want to enter. Okay, so please understand this because we have so many issues when the student overstay, they say, I don't get 3 months. No lah, come on lah. You see this entry also 30 days. You can count. Even immigration is putting, okay, today Bintang is enter on 15 April. 30 days we're going to be end on 13th of May. They already count the 30 days over there. So yeah, unfortunately, if you meet me at the counter, I still we're going to asking, why you didn't check when you received the passport? Why you didn't check? Most of the students give us some kind of answer. Oh, after I received passport, I just put it in my bag. I didn't check. I didn't. So we just like, okay, yeah, okay. And then, that was the story of a student, So kindly inquire with us, or you can email us and asking before you coming for a very clear information about SCV and what is the time that you should enter. So SCV will gonna be given by embassy and the validity is 3 months. Okay, so within 3 months you enter. And at the airport, you're going to receive 30 days of special pass for new student. And now for existing student who aspires at home country, starting 1st of February, they were going to given social visit pass for 30 days too. Okay, next questions.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Is there any cost that we need to pay if we are late on that 3 months if we do not go to Malaysia?
Okay.
Because I just heard from my friends that we need to pay like 1,000 ringgit if we are late.
You mean expiry of the ACV or expiry of the entry?
The SEV, that 3 months, madam.
Okay, SEV given by the embassy, right? SCV is given by the embassy, right? It's issued by the Malaysian embassy nearest. Okay, for example, in Jakarta, in Indonesia. So this SCV having charges. I didn't know how many ringgit they're asking or in your rupiah. If you miss these 3 months, then you didn't find any ticket. You didn't enter Malaysia. So most of the time, as I understand, they can give you a new SCV. With the same charges maybe like if the ACV charges you 100 ringgit Malaysia, so the next time you have to pay 100 ringgit Malaysia because you're not utilized, you're not used the 3 months before. So you have to apply again a new ACV. And the 1,000, I'm not so sure because the 1,000 is actually, for us, if it's 1,000, refer to the compound of immigration if you overstay. So if SCV, I don't think they're going to charge you 1,000, but there's a certain fees for their processing, for the services, to issue you the SCV. How many rupiah or ringgit, I didn't know, I'm not so sure. But most of the time for the VAL, student who having this validity of 6 months of the VAL, and then first 6 months, means shortly after the VAL being approved, the student requesting a SEV from the Malaysian Embassy. But first 3 months, the student is not flying. The student is not coming to Malaysia, right? So the VAL validity still have another 3 months. So the student only issuing or requesting a new SEV at the Malaysian Embassy. The charges is applies with the embassy lah. I'm not so sure what's exactly the amount.
Okay, thank you, madam. Okay, we move to the next questions. I read the questions in the Slido. The question is, can UTM International assist the students who cannot return to Malaysia for F2F classes and inform the school about their situation as an evidence, and school can understand about that?
Okay, these issues, you know, like online classes, teaching and learning, TNL of online classes, is actually it's academic matters. Okay, it's academic matters. And what happened, as far as we can see, in the early of the semester or before the semester start, UTM issuing a circular mentioning this semester, semester 2, session 2021-2022, the teaching and learning will gonna be still online. Okay, so everyone happy lah for 2.5 years online. But suddenly, like recently, UTM given an authority to a school or faculty, like, okay, school, you have a option lah, you know, if your classes, if your student inside your class, all is local nation, I mean all local, so you can ask them to returning to campus. Okay, returning to campus. But if inside your class having an international, so you have an option, you want to do hybrid. Hybrid means like face-to-face also can, online but also can. Okay, and in fact, I'm not so sure, like yesterday, they have this session in the morning, like engagement with the Deputy Vice Chancellor of Academic. I think yesterday morning. So ISS Indonesia have your committee attend that one with the TNCA. I didn't go to the meeting. So these issues already being acknowledged to the Deputy Vice Chancellor of Academic. Okay, and sort of like the Office of Academic given they were going to issue some disclaimer to school later soon, or notification or some kind of notice. I'm not sure how it's going to be done, but they will going to say if any international student having difficulties to return to the campus, like having an issues, maybe right now in China, you know, they are having this partial lockdown, spike of the Omicron recently, so they cannot travel. So their government is not allowing any China citizen to go back to this university. So this particular student can contact the school directly or academic advisor if UG. So tell the academic advisor or you have a supervisor, I'm not so sure, or anyone at the school that you know, tell them that you cannot come in with a justification and with a supporting document. So like China, maybe they can give any orders by the government or newspaper, whatever. Okay, I'm a Chinese citizen, I cannot going out because my government is refraining me to going out, not allow me to going out. So this is a documentation supporting my claim or justification. So school we're gonna do the rest. So I think maybe they will gonna do an online session only particular for that particular student. But how they're gonna doing it, I'm not so sure. So maybe they will gonna dedicate, okay, for example, for this subject, we have 5 lecturers, maybe, this is my personal assumption. Okay, 5 lecturers. So 4 lecturers, we're gonna do the physical of the classes. So 1 lecturer, we're gonna focus for the online. Maybe, okay, I didn't know how school we're gonna doing it, but the Office of Academic saying any international having difficulties to return to UTM, either it's KL, JB or Pago. So this student can contact directly to the school, let the school know, and giving a justification with the proof lah. I think it's very clear. So means that UTM is not forcing you to come in. If your cases is genuine, if you have a war, if your airport is closed, if your government cannot allow you, your immigration is not allowing you to go. So for UTM it's genuine. So UTM consider they will gonna come up with an online session for this particular student, but how they gonna doing it, I don't have any ideas. Okay, because I'm not managing the academic matters, but they consider.
Okay, thank you, madam. So we'll move to another questions. So the question is, can the multiply entry visa student issue less than 1 month? Maybe multiple
Less than 1 month. I mean, I think it's regarding the stick endorsement, right? Stick endorsement. Okay, less than 4 weeks. It be difficult for us to do because of what? When the student enter Malaysia, you have to go a medical checkup, right? So you have to go to UTM clinic on the same day that you coming. First, you maybe morning you coming to our office, and then later you go to the medical. So this medical report we will gonna receiving from the clinic. They're not giving to you. They have to give to us because it's private and confidential. So they will gonna send to us the next day or the day after. Okay, so you just count. Day one, you do medical and you submit to us a passport, but we cannot do anything because we have to wait for the medical report. So tomorrow we receive a medical report, and then after that we issue our letter, and then we send to EMGS. Okay. So when we send to EMGS are having their own processing time for issuing a letter. Because without EMGS letter, like Mr. Fahar said, state immigration will not gonna do the stick endorsement. Okay. So PKU, the clinic, okay, clinic 2 days. And then for example, in UTM International, we take about another 2 days. So already 4 days. And then with EMGS, another couple of days. So it's a bit difficult to do the processing because some of the process is not just us, it's involving other agencies, involving other parties. But case by case, we try to assist case by case. Okay, I think if I assist Indonesia, still remember this one cases before the renewal, student coming with TA renewal, Miss Anjani, if you guys remember. So her cases is very genuine, and then we work it out with the EMTS and State Immigration Johor with the proof of the issue, and then all the documentation related with our justification. And Alhamdulillah, it's being facilitated by EMTS and also immigration. So I think now she's at the home country already. Okay.
Thank you, madam. I think we have come to the end of our Q&A sessions. Now, before we close this webinar, madam, would Madam Ayu like to convey a message or advice for our audience here today?
Okay. Advice, okay. My advice to you, of course, I have to highlight again about submission. Okay, don't submit late. Please follow 3 months before. And then if you are entering, kindly check your entry stamp, how many days validity that you have. And please, don't listen to your seniors. Don't listen to your friends regarding pass and visa. Because recently, especially for Indonesia, we have so many cases. Listen to other person, advice or talk or I know what you call, but listen to someone else is not managing your application, and it lead to overstay, it lead to a compound, it lead to you are illegally stay. So please contact us. I know that sometimes when you email us, we will gonna take a time to revert to you because we're receiving so many email per day. And trust me that I actually the one who gonna respond to you one by one. Okay, for every particular person, especially existing student or senior student, with so many kind of issues. It's not just you. Sometimes you're dependent, like your seniors are dependent, PG student. Okay, so I try my best, or we try our best to facilitate you guys when you are emailing to us, regardless for any verification or any inquiries or any questions. Okay, if you get a right information, so you will not gonna having any problem. Just if you are not getting it right from first, so any circumstances or any adversities later, yeah, so try to avoid all these all these issues of entry, submission and everything. I really back your Indonesian student, because we haven't so much of the things arises for new student, about Indonesian student, and I didn't understand how it's happening. Like for example, new student coming and then waiting another student coming different. So this one person is not submitting anything. So I don't understand how it's happening. Like when we asking, the answer is, oh, I didn't know lah. I wait for my friend. I thought it's okay to submit after the expiry, after the validity. So so the student go to immigration lah, last couple of days. So try to avoid. Contact us and ask us directly for any assistance. It's long, right?
Okay, thank you so much, Madam Ayu, for the advice. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we finally come to the end of our webinar. Before we end this webinar, we would like to take a picture together to capture this special moment. To our fellow participants, please activate your web camera and I will give this session to the operator team.
Okay, I will take this session to capture this special moment. For all participants, please activate your web camera. One, two, three. All right, thank you.
Okay, all. Such an insightful topic from Madam Ayu, who are confused about all the things regarding student pass and also visa. We as a committee want to say thank you very much to Madam Ayu for taking the time to be our guest speaker from UTM International. Hopefully we will always be blessed in our career and life, and hopefully we can meet again in another opportunity. To our fellow participants, thank you for the amazing enthusiasm and a lot of questions, and keep up the spirit to continue developing yourselves. I'm Bintang Diparkan as the moderator in this webinar together with the committee on duty. We apologize if there are any mistakes or inconveniences, and we would like to thank you for your participations. Have a nice day. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.